Take your CJ7 all the way to 11. Jeepin' with Cool Guy.
Want to do a real quick video of a couple improvements that I put in here just to kind of make things work. Took things out, didn't want to replace them, so we're going to show you a couple of ways of replacing some sensors with some plugs, a couple ways to help protect your brake lines, and some other things that are like linings on the body. A couple of the first things are if you altered or removed some wiring and some other things from the computer. Not saying that you do that, but if you did, there's a couple sensors that are connected to the computer that you no longer need. One happens to be here, and the other one happens to be here. Both of these are simple replacements. You can go to a local hardware store and get brass pipe plugs. I can't remember which one this is. I think this is actually a 1/2 inch, maybe 5/8, but these are both the same. And it's really kind of nice because you don't have that sensor that's just sticking out randomly, and it's an easy way to plug the hole. Another one is oxygen sensor coming out of the exhaust manifold. This I got online. I'll put the description, I'll put what it is in the description of this video, but it's just a simple hex Allen wrench nut plug that goes right into that port, so that you don't need to replace your oxygen sensor. Another thing, this is a little unorthodox. On the Walker tailpipe, the exhaust pipe that comes out of the exhaust manifold, there is the air tube option, and this piece, I couldn't figure out another way to cap it, so I went and got a black iron nut end for I guess it would be natural gas lines or whatever that is. But anyways, it's a threaded nut plug in, and I just kind of tapped it on and then hammered it down in, and once the threads get on there, the thing won't come off. So this is kind of a fun little way of capping off that air pipe coming out of your tailpipe, or the exhaust pipe. If you run new brake lines, fuel lines, and so on, which I've done, I got the protective, stainless steel protective cage that comes with this brake line and this fuel line kit, but it's not enough to cover all of it. So there's going to be these points where you put your brackets onto the frame that hold the tubes in place, but there's really no way to keep them from rattling around in those areas. So just get some fuel line and slice it down the middle, cut off inch-long pieces, and you can put this right over the top of the lines in sporadic places and slide it into the points where it will vibrate and rub against other pieces of the tubing or the frame. And then you have this nice little bumper that is flexible, won't break down, and keeps everything from chafing. You can take this one for what it's worth. Dana 300 transfer case. There is an aluminum, very thin aluminum screw plug that goes down into this port. It really serves no purpose other than maybe adding fluid in there, but that can be easily achieved by just keeping your fluid levels right inside the transfer case. But this thing is not durable by any means. So I took that out, and here again is a 1/2 inch, I think it's a 1/2 inch, 3/8 brass plug that you just wrap with a whole bunch of plumber's tape, plumber's thread tape, and screw it down in there. It's not super tight. I mean, it will move around a little bit in there, but it's no different than the original plug. And the cool thing about that is that there's not a lot of pressure that's going to push that thing out. So it's a nice way of being able to put something in there that's a little bit more durable, and it's not going to catch as much grease as the plug that I'm going to show you right now. You might have seen it yours may be full of dirt and so on, but this just screws down in there. I mean, this thing is thinner than a tin can, and I noticed when I was trying to clean this thing up that I took a wire brush across it and the thing was jiggling in there, so I'm like, yeah, I'm going to replace that. So there you go. That's a nice little upgrade to that. One last improvement is that you take your hood, the support rod, and you use shrink wrap, shrink tubing, and you get like the big stuff. I think it was like a 1/2 inch, and you cut off a piece and you file it over here, or you slide it over here, and then just use a hair dryer and it shrinks up. The great thing about this is anytime you put this down into the rod latch on the grill, you're not going to scrape this up, you're not going to scrape that up. So that's a nice little way of protecting it.